Welcome to the fourth in our application support webinars in the series for the 2019 Governor of Victoria Export Awards. I'm Collins Rex, and these webinars are presented on behalf of Global Victoria. Now, as you know by now, there are 5 sections to the application. We've covered the first 4 in the previous webinars. Today, we're going to be looking at the final of the sections, which is the International Business Future Direction section. And this particular question covers 10% of your overall score. Just to recap, understand what it is that you do well and make sure you convey this in a language that the judges will understand. The final part of the application, the International Business Future Direction, is worth 10% of the score, but it is a very important section. This section of the questionnaire is where you look to the future. Every question up to this point has been effectively backward facing. It is everything that you have done to get you to this point. This question is where you have the opportunity to show what it is you are planning to do to ensure that your export business remains viable, remains successful and sustainable. So there are really 2 parts of the application that are vitally important in your application. Number 1, the introduction, where you have shown the judges upfront who you are, what you do, what's great about what you do, given them a sense of your business, given them an understanding of what you do and how you do it and how you do it well. And then you have the other end of the bookend, which is your international future direction. What you are planning to do to ensure that your business remains successful. And the question literally asks, how will you ensure sustainable export success? So bear in mind, if you win an export award in 2019 and you are no longer an exporter in 2020, it's not a very good look, really. So it's quite obvious why this question is so important. And this question asks, what are the key investments you propose to make in the next 12 to 18 months? Now, you will recall that when you were providing financial data, you had already answered a question around your investment priorities, both capital and operational. This, however, is pretty much an extension of that question. So this is where you can do a little bit of blue sky planning. In the next 12 to 18 months, in 200 words, what do you propose to do to ensure that your business remains a viable, successful export business? Sorts of things that you can include. Any new markets and why? Where are they? Why have you decided to target those markets as your next step? Also bear in mind that way back when you answered the question around your export markets and how much of your export sales you had in each one of those markets, I mentioned that if you had only 1 or 2, that could be a bit of a red flag for the judges. Well, this is an opportunity for you to talk about your market expansion plans. Any investment that you're making in research and development, any new products or services that you plan to be launching in the next 12 to 18 months, any strategic partnerships that you're entering into or that you plan to come to fruition in the next 12 to 18 months, any changes to your production or supply chains, employing of new staff, etc. So this is where you can really toot your own horn about the great plans you have for your business in the next 12 to 18 months. Once you've completed that question, the only thing that remains in the application form is for you to give a bit of colour and movement, if you like. And these are images that you upload. These images are there should you win an export award. They will be used in export awards promotion activity. So company logos, photos that reflect your business products, your culture, your community. And I have pointed out there that please don't send in corporate headshots. Really, nobody needs to see a picture of one individual. Here we want some pictures that say something about your business, about your products, and about your services. So there you see some examples of the sorts of images that you might include. Those are all images that have been provided by previous winners in the Government of Victoria Export Awards. So make sure that you have product shots, that you have location shots, etc., that speak to your business, that speak to your product and or your service. And that brings us pretty much to the end of our webinar series. We've covered off all the sections of the application form. Just to recap a few key issues, the application is an online one, but do not attempt to just complete the bits and pieces online and hit the lodge button. Download that application form, write all your answers in Word, socialize them with your team, socialize them with other people who might have an insight into what you've done, and make sure you get it right. Once you have it right in Word, you can then cut and paste the individual sections back into the online application, make sure that all the tables of figures, etc., are loading correctly, and then hit that lodge button. It's an online application, which means technically things could go wrong. Your applications need to have been lodged by 5 p.m. on Monday, the 15th of July, 2019. Please do not leave it to the last minute. We have had cases in the past of people trying to lodge at 5 to 5 and not being able to. Don't wait until the last minute. Get it right and then lodge it and have it done. October is when the Victorian Awards ceremony happens at Government House. It really is a fabulous night. If you've not been there before, that in itself is a really good reason to enter the Export Awards. It's a great way for you to show your staff some recognition for the hard work that they've been putting in to make your business a successful exporter. And if you win at one of those 13 national categories, remember, you automatically become a finalist at the National Export Awards. That ceremony is held in December. We're waiting for specific dates for both October and December, and you will be notified as soon as those dates are available. The National Awards ceremony also moves around from location to location, and again, you will be notified when the location has been fitted. The contact details for your Global Victoria contact person, for Darren Vouch, are on your screen. Darren is an invaluable support for you when it comes to any technical issues around your application. And Darren will also be able to assist you if you need some additional support to complete your application, because Darren controls the one-on-one mentoring. He can also answer questions around technical issues when it comes to lodging your application, etc. So please make sure you've got Darren's details on file and be in touch with him if you have any questions. This is where you go to lodge your application. It's www.global.vic.gov.au/GOVEA. Register your intention, and once you've done that, you're part of the process. You're in the system, so to speak. And if you haven't completed your application, you can expect some notice from Darren, probably in the form of an email saying, you started the application, you haven't completed it. Are you going to? Do you need any assistance, etc.? And please enter. We want as many Victorian companies as possible in this process. It's a great way to promote what you do, to have recognition which is internationally accepted. And you will find that once you've entered, if you win the Government of Victoria's Export Award, doors will open for you internationally. So we look forward to seeing your application come through. And if you have any issues, please speak to Darren. Until then, that's the address to go to. Get your application started, get it in, and good luck. Thank you very much for your attention over these webinars. Look forward to seeing your application, and I hope it goes incredibly well.